So here we are today in Cardiff Bay, and what you can see over that is like a pink watchtower. And the barrage in Cardiff Bay, this is actually the barrage in Cardiff Bay. The Cardiff Bay is actually over there, but the barrage was built to divide off the bay from the Bristol Channel. And so what you have here is behind me is a series of locks which open, and then boats can pass through going into the Cardiff Bay itself. And there's a lot of over sort of to that direction. There's a lot of there's a harbour and lots of small little boats, not so small, and people go in and out all the time of the barrage. So what I thought we'd do today is take some photographs with the Canon A1. Now, Canon A1, as I've mentioned in my, as I mentioned, is not a camera I'm familiar at all with. Canon generally cameras I'm not familiar at all with. It's sort of one of those things. Sort of when you worked in a studio, sort of, I suppose in my case back in the 80s and early 90s, wherever the photographer I was assisting had as a 35mm camera, that's the camera we used. And in my case, it happened to be Nikon, and basically, so then I stuck with Nikon all my life. I sort of ended up, when I left, getting Nikons. And back in the studio days, you got to bear in mind, PowerPoint didn't exist. And so all presentations were done on 35mm slide on Kodak carousel slide projectors. So business presentations and all that sort of stuff, we'd ended up doing 35mm slides for. And that's why we had 35mm cameras, not to shoot any products or anything on because the quality wasn't good enough, but to actually do presentations for clients and that sort of stuff. And that's how presentations were made back then, on 35mm slide. And I actually have a Kodak carousel projector, which works really well. And what we're doing today is shooting on the Canon A1. Now, as I said, I'm not familiar with Canons at all, and it's been a bit of a learning curve, actually. I have to say, the lens mount, because the Canon FD lens mount is an interesting one to actually mount onto the camera. But yeah, it's a great camera. It works really, really well, and I really enjoyed using it. Most of the stuff that we're going to do today is abstract of the barrage and the bay, and the film we're using today is Kodak Color Pro100, which is a really nice fine grain film and really nice color saturation. So it'd be interesting to see what we get from it for that. But the camera itself has been a delight to use, and there's certain things which are really different about it, the Canon to the Nikon. As well, obviously the lens mount's different, they both go on different ways, but yeah, the actual camera itself, the layout's completely different. Viewfinder's lovely, and it's a really nice little retro sort of red electronic digit type thing, which is on the viewfinder, which works really, really well and looks really, really cool. So I quite enjoyed using that. But the Nikons have got either the needle, or they'll have a plus and minus. On the FM2, it's a plus, 0 and minus. But no, I did enjoy the Canon A1's viewfinder. It was great to use. So anyway, what we're going to do now, take some abstract shots in the Cardiff Barrage, and let's see what we get and see what the scans look like, and we'll do some prints. So let's go off and take some photographs. Well, that was a great shooting experience with the Canon A1. I really enjoyed using it. And I just want to say this is on loan from Camera Centre UK in Cardiff. They're a great bunch of people, and they very kindly loaned me this. And thank you to Clear for letting me borrow it, which is much appreciated. So, and it came with also this lovely 50mm f1.4 SSC lens, which apparently the SSC stands for. It's for a coating. There's a coating on the lens which reduces flare and everything. So it was sort of Canon's top of the range lenses and manufacture. And then I also Clear let me borrow a 28mm f2.8, both of which performed fantastically well. The images brilliantly sharp, really nice images. Great sharp lenses, very impressed with the lenses, and as I was with the camera. Now the camera, as I said, I had to get used to the mount system because it's like a external bayonet almost, and I hadn't used that before, so that was interesting. But I got used to it in the end, and that was good. And and also, the metering on it was excellent, because what I did, I effectively used this on aperture priority. So I was floating between f11 and f16 on the shoot, and basically I was using the Kodak Pro100 film stock, which is nice fine grain, and so I was getting sort of anywhere between from 30th to 125th of a second. On the, but also what it was doing was going halfway between, so I might have been 1/45th of a second, which I thought was quite nice. And also the really interesting thing about this camera, as I mentioned when I was in the Barrage, was the viewfinder. Viewfinder is fantastic, really clear, really sharp, really nice to use, and also the other thing about it is the great retro red LED f-stop and shutter speed inside the viewfinder, which was really nice to use. Very clear, very sharp. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So the shooting experience with this Canon was great. Really pleased with it, and I think you can see this. So this current one is on sale right now at Camera Centre UK, and it's in fantastic condition. Lovely camera, as you can see, and I was it was an impressive thing. The way the cluster around the shutter button was made was great. So you're able to access the shutter speeds and apertures from here when you're in the A mode on the lens. So when you put the lens in the A mode, it locks down into this mode. And then you got access to shutter priority and aperture priority, and also the program mode as well, which is another feature of this camera. I think it's one of the first cameras that came in with a program mode, which is really innovative for its time, and had lots of features. Stop down lever here on the side, and then also had a battery check button and usual things on the camera, but really high spec camera, really nice specification. I think I think I may in future months when I might well treat myself to one. But this will be going back now to Clear at Camera Centre UK, and so if you're in the market for one, go on their website, and I'm sure they'll sort you out. But one little interesting thing about it is the difference in shutter noise, which I found very interesting. So if I click the shutter next to the microphone here now, and so that's that shutter noise. And then compared to the Nikon FM2. So Nikon FM2, So very different shutter noises, which is another thing I had to get used to, and it just sounded very electronic on the Canon A1. So that was fun to have a different noise shutter when you're taking photographs. It sort of adds a new dimension to it when you're so used to one type of shutter. You think, oh, am I? And also the other thing I found about it was it sort of lingered a bit. The shutter noise lingered. So I was thinking, am I shooting at 125th of 250th of a second, or am I shooting longer? I wasn't too sure, but no, it was all great. And as you saw on the slideshow, the exposures seemed to be bang on, really great. So you can't go wrong. So as a general carry around, capturing some really nice sharp images with these great lenses, I think the A1 is a fantastic camera to purchase, especially if you're in the market for a film camera. I think the Canon A1 would be a great camera to start on, because it's got everything you need. You can, as an amateur, you can go out and you can start, taking photographs, knowing your exposure is going to be perfect, using shutter priority or the program mode. Even the program mode is fantastic because you don't have to worry about anything at all apart from focusing, and then you can progress as you get more advanced in your skill set. So it's a camera that will really grow with you as a photographer and experimenting with film, because as we know, film is expensive and you need to nail your exposures, because you don't want to be having to shoot lots of exposures to get the right ones. So and certainly this camera did the job very, very well, and as you can see, they nailed the exposures perfectly on a bright day as well. So there was lots of contrast going on, and it handled it perfectly. So yeah, so I really did enjoy my time with the Canon A1. It was yes, I think I highly recommend it, and I think I shall in future certainly think about buying a Canon, definitely. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that little trip down to Cardiff Barrage. It's well worth a visit. It's quite a significant feat of engineering, and I remember it being built, and it was significant piece of civil engineering, that, and it's been gosh, it's about 20 years old now. No, of course, no, it's even older than that. Gosh, we're going back. What are we going back to? 25 years, maybe early 2000s, late 90s, possibly. Actually, it might be like late 90s, in fact. But yeah, great piece of engineering. So well worth a trip, and you can walk around. You can walk into Cardiff Bay all the way around and then back again in a circle, or take your bike. So yeah, it's really good. Okay, well, thanks for watching this episode. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the subscriptions and your likes, which is great. And of course, thanks for all the questions you're giving me, which is so welcome and so great. So please, if you have any questions on this, please do ask. It's I'm happy to answer them. And yeah, we'll get together again soon. And in the meantime, you take care and have a good week. Cheerio.